Welcome everyone. My name is Laura Geringer, and I am the co-president of the Wicked Mystery Inn Historical Society alongside Maddie. And look at this splendid room. We are so excited that you are all here. Maddie, look at all of our guests.
Yes, absolutely fantastic. I see some utterly fantastic costumes already. You showed up. You got the assignment of a masquerade party. We are, of course, celebrating the 400th year anniversary of the opening of the inn. So really happy to have you all here. Myself and Laura will be your hosts for the evening. So before we dive in, we'll have some dancing, we'll have some music, we'll have some fun, of course. Absolutely happy to kick things off here and willing to go ahead and imagine the mystery of the evening. We will certainly open things up. Laura, anything else you want to add before we get moving?
Yeah, so I see many of you are already in costume or in character. This is fantastic.
I will say, if you already are in character, let us know in the chat. So who are you? Or at least so potentially tell us a little bit about yourself. Do you have a name? Where are you joining us from? What are some of the things you're interested in? Let us know what you're looking forward to tonight as we give folks a little bit of space to do a little additional onboarding. I'd also be really curious because Laura and I love hosting these sorts of parties. Is this the first of this sort of party you have ever been to before? Or is this perhaps one of your first of the mysterious virtual parties that you might have attended? First time, excellent, Kelly. You are in for a treat. Love it.
Fantastic.
I agree, Chelsea. The more mustaches, the better.
Yes, indeed. Oh, goodness. Lots of interesting characters showing up here. Wonderful, wonderful.
Amazing.
Wow, wonderful. Well, Maddie, what do you say we proceed with a formal welcome of everyone here?
I agree. So let's kick things off. Welcome to the party. You can see we are here in the Great Hall of the Inn. So as we go about beginning to onboard you to this experience, I'm just like to direct you to some of the wonderful pictures I have in the background here. As you engage in this scene, I highly recommend you think about...
Wait, whoa. Hey, Maddie?
What?
Did you hear something? Something
weird?
Anything.
Laura, focus. We talked about this.
Sorry. Professional?
Yes, absolutely professional.
Maddie, I'm sorry. It's still happening. Can you...
It's happening?
Yeah.
Did anyone else...
This didn't happen when we tested the room.
I saw something weird.
What did you see?
I saw the eyes moving on a portrait in the lobby.
I saw a broken plant in the solar, but it was made of stone.
I was in the water closet, and the water just kept disappearing before my eyes.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, there are clearly something going on here. I apologize, folks. This was currently not on our agenda for our party. We were imagining canapes. We were imagining dancing, you name it, but certainly not these weird things. And I do think we'll need to get a little bit more information. We don't want certainly all of these mysterious things to ruin this historical bash.
Indeed. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. We're going to hand out a map to the grounds. And we're going to ask you. We're going to ask
Laura. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I was all alone in the dining room grabbing snacks. I thought I heard someone, but when I turned around, there was nobody there. I forgot to share that. Anyway, I didn't sign up to come in here and solve all your problems. So I'll be eating canapes in the parlor, and anyone who isn't really looking for a mystery and wants to have a drink, you can join me there.
Right. Well, anyway, apologies about that. Feel free to, I suppose, join that gentleman in the parlor. If you were not up for this type of mystery this evening, I'm sure he'll keep you entertained with some fantastic canapes and great conversation in that space for this afternoon if you were not looking for a wicked mystery party. That being said, as my co-president Laura said, we are going to go ahead and share a map of the grounds.
Well, okay, I think, Maddie, there are a few things we have to go over before we before we actually act on these maps that we now have in our hands. So what should we be keeping in mind?
Absolutely. So as we move through this, we're going to just help onboard you to this map to answer any other questions that you might have. So you can see here that this virtual map will provide a great way for you to get a sense of the grounds.
Excellent. Okay, so you've got your map, you've been oriented a little bit. So let's go ahead and explore. You're welcome to go it alone or to share your thoughts on the community bulletin board. But let's, the party's been interrupted. Let's see if we can wrap this up. Maddie, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. And so what we'll be doing here, at least for this next 10 or so minutes, is just giving you a little time by yourselves to explore the house and the inn, and particularly to get a sense of what this experience will be like. We will bring your attention back to this great hall that we're currently in about 10 minutes. But legend has it, at least right now, that there are some mysterious things in this inn that you might not want to disturb. So we're going to give you about 10 minutes just to get your bearings of the place before we kick things off into what will undoubtedly be a historical smashing historical bash here, as I said, that we will get started with. All right, welcome back, everyone. So fantastic. I'm really glad you had a chance to start to get to know the inn. This is, of course, a historical building, so we did want to give you a sense of where to start. And it does look like, Lara, all of our guests are back in the main room at this point.
Wonderful. We are so eager to hear what you've discovered. Does anyone have an idea of what's going on here? Let us know in the chat. I'd really love to get back to our party to celebrate this wonderful inn.
I already saw, Lara, that, and please feel free to either hop in the chat and leave some information, or if you would rather raise your hand or just give us a shout out on the microphone. We'd love to know, what are you finding so far? Anything else? So of course, we're investigating some of these mysterious things so we can get back to our party. I already saw someone comment about a shower. That's weird. Love it, but weird. Someone else said something about Darth Vader. I'm not sure if I know who that is. What else do we have going on so far this evening?
Someone else is talking about codes and stones, and again with the shower, something about a Luke and a Henrietta. None of these seem to be answering the question of what's going on with these peculiar noises.
Something about chickens. Oh, and the water closet. Yes, the water closet is one of the a frequent stop here among our party guests. Ooh, dead petals. That is something.
That's concerning.
What else? Anything else that folks are finding? I will say, please don't forget that if those of you want to share some of these observations along the way, that we do have a collaborative bulletin board. So you might find things about the house that help unravel our mystery here that you might want to share and document in that way as well. Though the chat is a great way for us to do that. All right, Lara, what do we think? Are we ready? I see a couple of adding some additional pieces in there.
Yeah, lots of really good information, but I'm not convinced we've sorted out the noises. I'm really anxious to get back to the party, but I feel bad doing so when we don't know what's out there in the rest of the inn.
I hear that. So about the rest of the inn. So a little bit of onboarding here, but as we shift, so we do have some great information already being shared. What we're going to be doing now is shifting to the second and the bulk of our party. So the biggest part of our party this evening. We, of course, are on a historical inn. This is a massive grounds. You saw the map earlier. We've got a mill. We've got a lake. We've got woods. We've got mountains in the background. So lots to explore. And what we're about to do is just for sake of exploring this and figuring out what in the world is happening with these mysteries, we're going to go ahead and open up the rest of the inn and its grounds for you all. So we've updated our map here. So you want to be looking at our Zoom chat here for our updated map. And please help us figure out what in the world is happening. So what we'll be doing here is opening into a series of new rooms. We'll be using the same functionality that we did before, where you can go and explore by quite literally using that map to jump and transport yourself to these various locations on the grounds. Likewise, however, if you like to do that with others, you will now be able to enter into those spaces through the breakout rooms functionality. So if you want to actually travel there, either by yourself or with colleagues, you'll be able to move about the space. But you want to use both our map so you don't get lost, of course, and know where you are and where you might want to go next, as well as the breakout functions if you want to go and travel with as physically as we possibly can in virtual context with others throughout the inn and our collective space. So any questions before we get started here? I will say if you have any questions, speaking of, as we go about this space and explore the inn, we will have the Master of Ceremonies, Aaron, remaining in the Great Hall. So if you do have any questions, you can stay here. We've scheduled this for about another half an hour. So let's see yet if we can figure out this mystery before the end of the evening. Welcome back. Welcome back. Woo!
That was a lot of exploring.
So much exploring, so much exploring. I got to witness some fantastic magic happening. I got to witness some plants being saved. What about you, Co-President Laura?
Indeed, indeed. Lots of creativity around key codes, some frustration around key codes.
There was a obnoxious doorknob.
Yeah, the most impertinent doorknob. Keep yelling at people. I don't know what was up with that, but we've got to talk to whoever takes care of this inn year round.
Absolutely.
Tell me about it. The way that they're keeping the grounds has been inexcusable.
Definitely.
Inexcusable. We are welcomed back into the room, of course, by our fantastic ghosts. And looking at the time we have left in our wonderful Wicked Mystery Inn party, we did want to make sure to have a little space to bring us back and end our night here together, at least for the party. So welcome back again. My name is Maddie Shulgren. I am co-president of the Wicked Mystery Inn Historical Society. You might have seen many of the other facilitators, ghosts, portraits, door knockers along the way. So I hope you had a great time exploring the inn and everything that it had to reveal to you this evening. We have a little bit of things that we want to do here together as we shift and closing our session. And that's, of course, to do a huge thank you to all of our guests that hopped into character for us. So we're going to do a brief curtain call and ask that you just hop on mic so that it triggers you coming up on screen and say hello, maybe talk a little bit about very briefly what character you played for us tonight so everyone can see all the support we had. So we can kick off with Henrietta and then we'll just go about. But again, if you're one of our facilitators and or ghosts or other characters that we requested come, just give us a shout out and say hello.
Hi all, Lady H here, or yes, Henrietta, your neighborhood snobby and indignant ghost. Thanks everyone for spending time with me in the conservatory, learning more about my favorite flower, some of my favorite activities like stargazing. It's been a real pleasure getting to know you, and everyone stay out of the parlor and save the plants.
Well, I take umbrage with that because the parlor is a lovely place to be. Ben Scragg, OLC. Thank you all for popping by, whether inadvertently, whether you're just trying to figure out your way around or whether you needed to take a break with a libation before a digital libation before being haunted by the ghosts that pop by. Excited to join you all for the rest of the week, and we're really grateful that you're here. Cheers.
Any of our other facilitators want to say hello?
I'll say hello. I'm a water creature that lives in Black Swan Lake, and I have an event to go to. I was looking for a blue stone so that I could dye my water for my special event.
Wonderful. And I see some other folks, they don't have to say hello, but for sake of time, if anyone else does want to give a shout out, please use the Zoom chat now. We had a fantastic group and we'll just go through here. That includes, in addition to the two folks that you just met, Aaron Morrow, our Master of Ceremonies, Annie Davis, of course, who is playing the role of Matilda. We had Karina Branson walking around as well, documenting the space and quite a lot of commentary along the way. Stephanie King, Jennifer Rafferty, that's Paloma, Jessica Knott, with some scissors and a blanket with some holes in it. So you might have seen that ghost walking around the inn. And and Garrett. So a huge thank you to all of you for stepping into the role and playing the game along the way. We did want to take a very brief period of time and reveal a few things for you all. So yeah, of course, we designed this on the back end, a very brief behind the scenes, keeping a check on time, so that you could continue to explore. And there's lots to reveal both within the space of the inn, but of course, within the ways in which you can leverage an activity like this for a whole lot of things, including getting to better understand wicked problems. So it is our pleasure to announce that we will be transporting this into a fully asynchronous experience for you, so you can continue to explore outside of the space of this synchronous Zoom space. I'm going to pass things back over to my colleague Lara to help close us out here, or egg here, door knocker currently. Otherwise, definitely leave us some comments. Don't forget that there is a space to give us feedback as well. We'd love to know things you took away, things you saw, and other things you learned.
Absolutely. Well, I want to send a huge, huge thank you to Maddie, my co-conspirator in all this, from whom I've learned so much about crafting an experience like this, things that we'll be sharing with you in the upcoming toolkit playbook about how to craft an experience like this. We really hope that through this sometimes frustrating experience, you've in a playful way gotten to interact with some of the tensions that are inherent in wicked problems, some of the things that aren't clear, this idea of competing values and hidden pieces to be uncovered. We'll be playing with that a little bit more throughout the week. So with that, a huge thank you to everyone for joining us today. And any final comments before I kick it back to Stephanie and Sam, Maddie?
No, I just want to extend a huge thanks from Maddie. I'm Maddie Shelgren of the OLC, Director of Online Engagement. So you will be seeing myself and our colleague Ben Scragg throughout the week. Ben, I'm going to kick it over to Ben just briefly to give a little bit of insight into a nice bonus, at least from the OLC side, about our partnership with ShapingEDU and the fantastic team, including Laura, that we've been working with over the last few weeks.
Yeah, thanks, Maddie. Super excited for the week ahead. Glad to have you all join us. Stephanie, it may be that you have a slide that shares a code. OLC is proud to be a co-convener of ShapingEDU for this week. On your screen, you'll see a code for our OLC Accelerate on-site conference in October in Washington, D.C. So there's a code there. If you're an OLC member or a non-member, it's the same $50 discount code for your registration. But we wanted to share that with you, and we'll share that in the chat here shortly. But again, ShapingEDU OLC for OLC members, ShapingEDU 2021 for non-members. We'd love to see you in Washington, D.C. We're getting excited to doing on-site conferences again, and the plan is for early October in Washington, D.C. So thank you to ASU and ShapingEDU for allowing us to be part of the event. We're super excited for it, and here's the code.
Hey, thank you so much, Maddie, Ben, Team OLC. I know not everyone's got their mics on, but there's that handy reaction button. Everyone give them a round of applause. Lara Geringer too, the creativity, the fun, the spirit of, just hanging out this way a little bit differently than any other reception on a Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon, depending from where in the world you're logging in from, or that even could be Wednesday morning. I just want to thank the organizing team, the Online Learning Consortium, and their just overall creativity with digital and online everything. And thank you to everyone who got in the spirit of problem solving and fact finding, because as much fun and silly at times as this exercise is, it really does set us up nicely for the rest of the week around problem solving and fact finding and actually following clues. So tonight kicked us off with some fun and some spirited activities. And thank you so much, everyone.